Alright, so I decided to build myself a small trailer to pull behind my Goldwing. And before I started, I went on the internet, found all kinds of good information from a lot of smart people out there. So I'm quite confident this will come out okay. I've decided I bought that cargo carrier off of Craigslist, got a smoking deal on that, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to mount it on top of this little trailer that I got at Harbor Freight. It's 40 by 48, I believe. I'm gonna do a bunch of modifications to it and see if I can get it to turn out pretty nice. So one of the first things that I did is I'm going to remove some of these leaf springs off of this to make it ride a little bit smoother, because the amount of stuff that I'm going to carry in that carrier probably won't be over 150 pounds. So I think this is a bit of an overkill. So I'm going to go ahead and take those leaves out of there. As you can see on this one here, it's got a pin in here. This one here is just bolted in. It's got a nut on there. So I just took that nut off, and this leaf, this first small leaf here, came right off. But this one had a rivet going through here, and I didn't know if that rivet went all the way through or not. So I started grinding on it. Come to find out, it only went through the second one, and it's held on by this band here, plus this nut. Since this bolt and nut is gone, I was able just to take this part, bend it back, and the whole thing just started coming off. So yeah, this whole thing's just gonna slip right off of here. Throw that in the trash. It's gonna leave me with just one leaf spring. I think that'll help my ride soften up a little bit, not be so stiff and bouncy. And obviously I'll be testing that and let y'all know how that worked out, but I think it'll be fine, since I won't be loading this thing up real heavy. Alright, off to the next section. Okay, so I went ahead and mounted up the axle and the leaf springs and test fitted this, because one of the things I want to do is run my axle, reverse it, and put it inside here instead of up on top of here, to try and lower the trailer down so that the tongue is more in line with the hitch on my motorcycle. So I want to drop that down a little bit, and I want to test fit everything. And one of the problems that I'm having is that the tire now has less than a ½ inch of clearance. So I'm going to have to remount these fenders. I was planning on bracing the fenders anyway, because a lot of people are talking about the fenders cracking after a while. So I was going to brace them up some more anyway. So I'm just going to take the whole things off, make up some new mounts, and get some more tire clearance on there. But so far, everything looks good. I think it's going to work out real well. I'll end up obviously cutting these things off of here, because don't need all that sticking out there. And yeah, I'm getting excited. All right, on to the next part. All right, so I just wanted to show you all this. A lot of the stuff I was reading about these trailers, that common complaint was that the wheel bearings didn't have no grease on them, and everybody was recommending that you take the bearings out, repack them, and all that stuff. It was obviously a good idea. But I wanted to show you this on this new trailer. When I took the wheel off, there seems to be plenty of grease in there. I don't know what kind of grease it is, but yeah, there seems to be plenty of it. So I guess they got a lot of complaints about that. I'm sure they did. This is a lot better. So just wanted to show that. I may end up repacking them anyway. I don't know. We'll see. There you go. Alright, so this thing here has a little locating dimple in it. That's going to go on top of this. So there needs to be something here to locate it in. So I made this little, it's got this little button head screw, ground down the edges a little bit so that it would fit down inside of there just right. So now I'll just take this, that's going to go in there, Little nut on the other side, little Loctite, and whatever's protruding out of there, I'll probably just cut it off. Shouldn't be too much hanging out of there, but that'll make a nice little setup. Alright, so I've got my got this trailer kind of mocked up a little bit. I'm going to try and set the tongue weight. You see I got the bathroom scale there. Don't tell my wife. And then I got my spare tire hanging there on the tongue, about where it's going to go. Got the whole thing lifted up on some jack stands. And I'm going to take the cargo box, put it on there, put all of my camping gear in there, and then I can move it forward and backwards to try and get my tongue weight in a good position. I'm thinking maybe like 15, 18 pounds, somewhere in there. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, so yeah, I just took a bunch of my gear, packed it up inside the thing, and took the ice chest, put about 3/4 of the way up with water, give it some weight, and I just started shifting the box back and forth, and I ended up with having the box scoot all the way to the back. And up here on the front, I've got some excess, so I'm going to go ahead and slice that off, cut that off of there, kind of tidy this up a little bit. I still may or may not narrow the thing a little bit. I cut about an inch off of each side, you know, to narrow it up if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I'm even gonna go to all that trouble. We'll see. But yeah, I ended up with about 16 pounds on the tongue, so that's good. And I can always adjust that by moving that ice chest forward or backwards to shift some weight around if I want to. Alright, so I got the frame all cut and trimmed. Narrowed it up about 2.5 inches, shortened it probably about 8 or 9 inches, I guess. And then I got this thing, got it all squared up and started welding it. I'm not the best welder, but getting the job done, you know, it'll hold. Just ain't gonna be all that pretty, which is fun. And I got this thing set up on this ladder with some pipe stuck in here, so I can rotate the thing while I'm working on it. Makes it really easy to swing it around and weld up on the other side and everything and get it at a good angle. I need all the help I can get. I already burnt myself a couple times, but yeah, we'll get it done. Looks to be coming together pretty nice. So here I just want to show how I cut the axle. I narrowed the trailer by 2.5 inches, so I went ahead and cut 2.5 inch section out of there, so that goes away. I'll get this, throw a bead of weld around the outside of it, and then I'm going to take this, drop that in there, and weld that in there to give it some extra strength, just because. I think that might be a little bit better. Alright, and next thing I'm going to do is put these extra braces on the fenders, get those bolted up, make sure they're all fitting right, take the whole thing apart, and we're going to go off to the powder coaters. Alright, so now I got the axle. I cut that piece out, narrowed it up, welded it across there, around there. Not pretty, but it's on there. So now I'm going to take this pipe. I cut a piece of pipe and it fits right in there real nice. I'm going to lay that in there, reinforce it, put a little bead around there, get all set up. That way my shit won't go flying apart. I'm going down the road. Alright, so that came out pretty much just like I wanted. Got a weld on each side, there and there. Don't touch, it's hot. Yeah, so I think that'll hold it up pretty good, especially since I got the weld all the way around and everything, so I'm confident. Alright, off to the next step. Well, the next thing I'm going to do, I might as well tell you right now, I'm going to fabricate a mount for my rear wheel. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to have a plate welded on here with some holes in it so I can mount my spare tire on there underneath the trailer. We'll see how that comes out. Alright, so I already talked about these bearings a little bit, how much grease was packed in there. There's like enough grease in a gag of horse, so that's good. And then I wiped off these things and I got the ID off of here. And it's a HCH bearing, which is, I looked that up on the internet, and it's definitely a Chinese company. But it's been sold by a lot of distributors here in the US. I don't know if that means anything or not, but I don't think that they're junk, but we'll find out. HCH, and the number on them is 30205. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that they put this grease fitting on here, so that's nice. It doesn't look like a piece of shit one either. It looks alright, so I think we're all good there. Alright, so you know the tongue got replaced on this, and I replaced it with 2x2 square stock and made it longer, of course, and it's a little bit narrower than the original one. So what some people did, and I went ahead and did the same thing, I got washers to use as spacers in the hitch. And one of the things I did, though, I took the spacers and I put a little adhesive in the washers there to get them to stick together. So if I ever take this apart, it makes it a lot easier to put them in there and take them out in one piece like that. So there you can see how the washers fit down inside there. That'll make it real nice. I'll go ahead and tighten that up and there won't be any distortion or anything. Should work out okay. Alright, so things are going along pretty good. I got all my mounting holes drilled. Everything lined up. I got my piece of wood that I fit on there. I cut it to size, obviously, and got it to fit on there. Lined up all the holes, drilled the holes in the wood. The wood's out back drying. Gonna throw a few coats of paint on that. I'm gonna paint the wood platform black, and I'm gonna leave the fenders black too, so it'll be orange and black when I'm done with it. I went ahead and got me a piece of angle iron and fit that in here for extra support when I put the wood on there. I've got all my fasteners here. These are all stainless steel. I got these are the ones that are going to hold the wood down, and then these ones are going to be the ones that I'm going to use to hold the car carrier onto the wood. Got my washers and everything. These are all stainless steel. Chihuahua, those things cost a lot of money. That's all right. I'll deal with it. So yeah, things are going good. Right here, there's a kind of a step down here. There's going to be a gap here between the wood and this frame. This one will fit flush along here, but there's going to be a gap on this one and this one. So what I'm going to do when I put the wood on there, I'm going to throw a big fat ass bead of caulk, exterior caulk along there, and let that wood set on top of there, and then bolt it down, and hopefully that'll help it keep from rattling, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy so far. Let's hope I don't screw anything up. I finally got the ice chest rack done. That took a little while, cutting in, welding, all that. It's really ugly right now because it needs a good powder coating, but it's pretty sturdy, so I don't think it's going to fall apart. I put these hooks on here to hold I'm going to use these rock straps that I've been using for years. I really like them. So I'm going to use those to hold the ice chest down. So you hook on that hook right there. Goes over the top of the ice chest. Ice chest fits right in there. It's all nice. Strap go across there, blah blah, you get the picture. So these things are really great. That thing should hold on there no problem. And then I took nutserts and put them in the tongue. So now all I'm going to do is take this, set that on there, a couple quarter 20 bolts, run them down through there. I'll probably stop at the hardware store and get some stainless steel button head screws to fit in there. That should be pretty nice. And yeah, I think it's going to turn out really nice. I hope so. It better. I've been working a lot on this thing. If it doesn't come out nice, I'm going to be disappointed Maybe I'll even cry. I don't know. Anyways, I'm having a good time, and that's the main thing. I think it's gonna work out good. So there's my spare tire carrier that I made. It's pretty simple, just a plate, welded on a couple nuts here to go through the wheel, lug nuts on the other side. Got this welded to the tongue. Let's take a look underneath here. If you can see that good light's not that great, but you get the idea. So I think that'll work out fine. Next comes powder coating. Yeah. So I got my wooden platform all painted up. I use this, use some of this stuff here. I used the whole can, got 3 coats on there. Hope that'll help me, help that wood last a long time. Looks good. Of course, it doesn't matter because the case is going to go on top of there. You're not going to really see much except the edges around here a little bit. So, yeah, the way I cut it, the top box is going to come right up to the edge of this, so you're not going to see much of it. But at least I'm hoping the any moisture or whatever won't be deteriorating the wood. Got it on both sides, underneath and on top. So yeah, again, 1 can, 3 coats, I'm all good. Alright, so I've taken the trailer and other parts of the trailer down to the powder coaters. So while that's gone, I'm going to go ahead and work on this, work on the cargo box itself. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple lights back here. See, I got it all cut out and holes already made there, and so I'm going to mount these up in there. And I put a fat bead of caulk going around here to help seal out the water or whatnot. So let's get that going and see how that turns out. So one of the things I like to do when I'm doing electrical stuff is to solder a lot of the connections rather than using crimp connectors or something like that, or being real crude. I like to get these things soldered up, shrink wrap them, and then I find that just to be a little bit more reliable overall. Alright, so I'll be doing that a lot on this trailer. So I got these lights mounted in the box. You can see the caulking oozed out around there. It's not a problem because it doesn't stick to the plastic. So all they have to do is just go around with a razor blade, cut that, just peel it off. It just comes right off after that. It's no big deal. Yeah. As I say that, it's being all stubborn. It doesn't want to come off. But anyways, yeah, it comes off when you do that. Just like that. Then I got the inside all wired up. You can see there, goes down, and when I get done, I'm going to put a hole in the floor, and the wires go down through the base of the trailer and connect to the wire harness in there. So I'm all good. Alright, so I got my stuff back from the powder coaters. I took it over to Arizona Powder Coaters in Phoenix. They do a great job. I've been going there for about 10 years, so if you need some good powder coating done, they're the guys to go to. But I got it back the other day, so now I'm going to start wiring things up. But looks good. The fenders are done. Got those black, and as you can see, orange frame. Got my ice chest basket all powder coated up. Brackets, axle, everything's all good. So, wiring, here I come. Alright, so I got me some trailer wiring harness. I had enough sense to drill this hole before I sent it to the powder coaters, although I did not drill that one, so I had to drill it after the powder coating. So I got that thing all fished through there. Coming out here, I'm going to wrestle and put this grommet down in here. I'm not going to film that because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cursing going on trying to get that in there, but sometimes I squirt a little armor all on there and it'll slip right in. Alright, so I'm fixing to install these marker lights. I've got 4 of them. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. The same thing on the other corner. And so I've already drilled a couple mounting holes. I got my stainless steel fasteners. And I'm also using these snap bushings. so that I can run this wire through that hole. Hopefully it won't get cut up by the sharp edge of the hole that I drilled. Yeah, that should look pretty good. Alright, so I finally got the thing wired up. All the lights are working like they're supposed to. I've got this part here that's going to run up to the box, and there's going to be lights in the back of the box, so I'll get that wired up in there. But I got everything connected, got all the wires secure. I like to have all that stuff done so the wires aren't flopping around and causing problems. So it's all good. Got multiple grounds. I got one here, there's one there. That's always something I like to do also. Got one over there. Yeah, turned out pretty good. Lights. Got those lights working. And those. It's all good. So yeah, the next thing I got to do is put the top on it and get the wires going up through there. Once I get the top secured, I'll go ahead and put the wheels and the axle back on, flip it over, and then once that's all good, I'll flip it over again and put the actual box on. So it's almost getting done. Alright, so things are going pretty good. I'm putting the base on it right now, and I've got these stainless steel screws that I'm using. Go down through. I got the holes beveled out right there. That fits in there nice and flat. Make it real nice. Using a small drop of Loctite on the threads so that doesn't rattle loose later on. But the thing's starting to look like a Halloween trailer with the orange and the black. Yeah, kids will probably be making fun of me. That's alright. Well, alright then. Got all the screws in there. That was kind of tedious. I put a total of 20 fasteners in here. I think I kind of overdid it. I think maybe a dozen would have been fine, but better too many than not enough. I don't think that thing will ever fall off. Alright, so that's what it looks like turned over. I'm ready to put the wheels and the axle on, the suspension and everything, so just going to get a look at it before I put that stuff on there. I really like the way this works out. It lets me pivot this thing back and forth. It was a great idea that I got off of somebody else that built one of these things. Alright. Looks nice when there's no dirt on it. We'll see what happens later. Get caught in a rainstorm. Alright, so one of the many mistakes that I made is that I took this wire here and I had taken a zip tie and run it up through this hole to secure it under there to keep it from shaking and rattling around. And I forgot that this has to get bolted on right there. So that's not going to work out. So what I ended up doing is I had some of these and I'm going to mount that underneath, let that bolt go through it, and that'll help secure that wire there. So learn from my mistake. Alright, so I got the leaf springs on, got the axle on, and I did this thing here. I put one of these, I don't know what you call them. I guess it's a document holder for a tractor or something, but I've got one on my motorcycle to hold tools and stuff, and that's what I did to this one. So I'm going to have my lug wrench in there and whatever else I need. And all these self-tapping screws that were sticking out where you can snag something on them, I ground off the tips, and I'm going to put some rubber caps over them because I'm that crazy guy that will reach under there and snag myself and cut my damn finger because I'm goofy like that. So that's something else I like to do. And then on here, I saw someone else do this on when I was looking around researching this project. I put these rubber tubings on here. It's kind of some dense rubber to help with the rattle. I guess this thing will rattle around when you're riding, so I can see why. It's pretty obvious. So hopefully that'll help out. I am looking forward to getting this thing on the road, hopefully this weekend. And I will, I'm going to try and take my GoPro and mount it underneath here and get a shot at that suspension with the bike loaded and unloaded, because I want to see what happens, because you know I took off all those other leaf springs under there. So we'll see. It's coming along nice. Alright, so the box is installed. I've got the thing upside down on my little rotisserie thing here so I could finish up the wiring. I got the wires going into the box because there's lights on the back of the box. So I got that all wired up, straightened out. I went ahead and took some exterior caulking. I like to squeeze some around these wires here to keep them from shaking when I'm driving around. That way they don't get chafed or anything. So I got that on there. I always squeeze a little bit inside these things too for the same reason. So that's all good. Everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this thing over. I got a little bit of I gotta work on the wiring harness that goes inside the box. So let me flip this over thing, and I'll get a little video of that too. Oh, wait a minute. So I got my plug here. I installed the hitch, and I'm gonna put these two pieces together on here and put some sheathing on the outside. Got this thing all shimmed up, tightened up. It's all good to go. Alright. Alright, so the box is on. Got it all wired up. I got that wire back there all harnessed up, going up to the lights inside. So that's all groovy. I got 4 mounting points that I put in here. I may put a couple more later, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think everything's ready to go for a little test. I do have to do that wiring up front, but I'm gonna wait till I test it before I do that. Oh yeah. Let's close this puppy up, see what it looks like. Here we go. Not too shabby. I think this is going to work pretty good. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I was able to get this harness all fixed up the way I wanted. What I ended up doing was those 4 wires that came out that make this connection. I had to splice those wires onto this plug. And I did that down inside here. And then once I did that, I covered it with this stuff here. And then, for added protection, I took some heat shrink, tested it out on this piece, and it came out okay. So I went and covered the whole thing in this shrink wrap, as you can see. And it turned out pretty good. So it's nice and tough. I don't have to worry about it like wearing through on something. It looks like pretty sturdy there. And I also put one of these on here to hold that still. So we're all good. I think I'm gonna test this thing out tomorrow. Alright, trailer's hooked up. There's the gold wing. Trailer. Everything looks good. All the lights are on that are supposed to be on. Like damn Christmas or something. It's alright. But I do have an issue. I'm gonna have to go dig and find out what the hell happened. When I turn the turn signal on, the bike works the way it's supposed to. Okay, turn to the left. I go over to the back of the bike, and everything's blinking. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I put some kind of converter in the bike that's supposed to keep that from happening, but obviously I did something wrong.